Before mom, thank you for sacrificing dreams so I could pursue mine. Mm.
On April 9th, 2025, a JP indie VTuber named Otsuka Ray posts a heartfelt letter to her daughter starting kindergarten.
My daughter Reika will be entering kindergarten this spring. Without everybody's support, I wouldn't have been able to raise her as a single mother.
From these two sentences alone, I knew I had to tell Ray's story to the Western audience. Inspired, I DM'd Ray for an interview to learn more about this resilient story of being a single mother in Japan and being able to support her only daughter through her VTuber activities. Ray graciously agreed to answer my questions, so now
So wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. So guys, do have a question. So is that really common? Is it really common to be a VTuber and like, especially like as a single mother? Because I know a lot of young people are doing it and a few older folk, but not many single fathers or single mothers are doing it. There isn't. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. At least I haven't seen nothing Western. This is like the first time I've heard of something like this right now. And it's not even in the US. It's like outside.
I will tell her story. This story begins with a Japanese girl
I'm a 25-year-old depressed. Yeah, I guess. But to be fair though, you're like still in like your mid-20s. Like you're not even old. My chat calls me UNC. Dang. I got caught IRL. This is the next best thing. Wait, you got caught IRL? Oh boy.
falling in love with a particular individual. Sadly, he ended up being a playboy and Ray got dumped. If things couldn't be even more intense, she found out that she was pregnant.
The day I found out I was unexpectedly pregnant, I felt anxious. My parents were repeatedly in and out of the hospital, and I don't have any siblings. I wasn't sure if I could raise a baby properly without anyone to rely on.
She was definitely on the fence about giving birth, and to complicate things, Ray was a physically weak person, so people around her was concerned about whether she could safely give birth.
Yeah.
What shifted Ray's mind was her familiar duties to her father and grandmother. Both of these family members told Ray personally that they wanted to see the face of her unborn daughter, and these very words influenced this young woman to give birth.
My father received a terminal prognosis and my grandmother was already of an old age. I wanted to make them happy while they were still alive. And this feeling also motivated my determination to give birth to Reika-chan.
It was important to mention that Reika's birth itself was a difficult one. Due to Rei's weak physical body, she was actually in critical condition during the child rearing process. It got so bad at one point, the doctor approached Rei's father and asked him, "Do you want to save Rei or Reika?" Thankfully, both did their best to persevere, and so Reika safely came into this world. It was during this time where a president of some agency tried to recruit this new mother to become an idol streamer at their company. Because Rei loved singing and dancing and needed a source of income to support her newborn, she jumped at the opportunity. This is kind of where Rei entered her Oshinoko arc because while she was doing her idol activities, she had to keep it a secret from her fans that Reika exists. Lady Luck was on this new idol side because she was getting more popular as an idol streamer and was actually getting a lot of money from fans. But at a certain point, Rei felt a growing burden of lying to her fans. But on a much more important note, there's also the possibility of making Reika feel lonely. This is where she made a complete career shift towards VTubing. But why VTubing?
Originally, I performed as an idol without concealing.
Okay, so this person was already an idol before, right? If I'm understanding this correctly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're already an idol, and then she turned into like a VTuber, I guess. Hmm. Who's the playboy? I'll find him. I have no clue. And what a surprise you guys know. I don't know what the playboy is. You watch your YouTube? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I actually don't really watch like a lot of foreign streamers, I guess you can say. Well, foreign to me, because mostly either Spanish or English. But yo, that is crazy, Toast. Toast, that's a crazy statement. That's a crazy statement. Being pan is awesome. I don't know, man. For perseverance. We love a broken woman with perseverance. Alright, moving on. Moving on.
My face, but I had an opportunity to perform alongside VTubers at an event,
I guess they
witnessing
love
how
older
much they
women.
enjoyed
Well,
performing and
yeah.
how brightly
Well,
they.
here's the thing, guys. A lot of that stuff are fetish. Most of the stuff are fetish. That's a crazy comment, Toast. But, but see what I mean, guys? Toast is a perfect example. And no, I'm not crucifying him as an example right now. But if you identify as one, I can. Oh, geez. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is like a fetish thing. I feel like if you look at like if I were to search up VTubers, right? Yes. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is a fetish thing. That's why they have their bazookas all the way out, triple extended, 4D physics. You can hear them in 5D though. Uh, oily and a lot of skin showing. Preferably like the booba. As we learned, tits sell. Apparently, that's something we did learn, guys. From last stream and also from the designing thing. Especially, I learned that especially in my English class when we were learning about marketing. Small sections of the body, close up pictures, they sell. Of which I. Alrighty. Alright. Alright. Is that why you're in here, lazy? Of which you have none. Alright. Alright. I'm into wholesome stuff. Yeah, alright, alright. So you guys come to the right place then. Alright. Yeah, cause like I don't know, cause my other model, they're really almost exposed. I mean, but to be fair though, it's like that's like fine because some of these girls I've seen, They're like the only thing covering their freaking bazookas are probably just a thin piece of paper tissue, dude. Let me see. It depends because a lot of the corporate ones know. Like for example, like these ones right here. They're pixelated. That's funny. I'm just getting a bunch of corporate ones. I'm not really finding any good examples. Okay, guys, you know what, guys? Why am I sitting here talking about this? Let's go to the source right now. Let's go to the source. Let's go. Let's exit out of Google. Let's go into Twitch. Ooh, uh-oh. Evidence. Raw data. Let me go over to Twitch and type in... Actually, let me open a... Can I... Okay, can I leave here, please? Can I? Uh-oh, force quit that. Back to Twitch. VTubers. Browse. VTubers. Boom, right there. Number 1. Alright, what's going on about... It's because I'm a fan of lesbians. Oh, that makes sense. We should stream our wholesomeness, but depravity is the perfect cocktail. Yeah, it is. It's Hooters. Yeah, Toast, you're on that, though. Toast, you're on that. Yeah, he would. Every single one of you. If Scholar was here, he'd be scalding every single one of you. But here's doesn't matter. The matters what the people think. That's what really matters. And at the end of the day, and Toast is right. It's basically Hooters. If you search up a VTuber, and oh look at this, 97 Elden Ring.
It takes.
All right, I'm not watching ads. I'll save that as a drive. I'll exit it for now. Look at this, dude. If I stop getting ads, maybe I should go to clips instead. Yeah, like... Right. You guys see what I mean? Like, and this is just one. There's like plenty others I just skipped through. But this is one, right? And a lot of the ones I've seen are basically like this. Very similar. It's very similar to like those e-girls like online who do like swimming pool and like bathroom like pool and like makeup and stretching as their as like as streams. And recently they added a new gym category, and go figure, the number one I believe streamer on there is a girl. And a lot of this stuff just has to do with fetish behavior. And you can't really, it's hard to compete against that because it sells big. I'm not stuck at the door. But anyway, she is a door. I'm not a door. I'm not a door. Oh, I just almost ripped my microphone out saying that. I'm not a door. But I know some people have been trying to avoid those, but that's just like the norm. All right, flat, 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 flat. Uh-huh. But if I see something about your stuff, then it's a problem. Mm-mm. Let's let's move on. I'm into those four. All right, Toast. All right. No, I may I rug my mom again. I rug what my gum.
They shown on stage
All right.
sparked my interest in this
Moving
world of
on.
VTubing. I was also deeply moved by the enthusiasm of the fans, which made me think I also want to dive into this world too.
VTubing just made sense in this case because it was the optimal choice of raising Reika as a single mother by being able to work from home while maintaining a certain level of privacy. What made things even more interesting is that this new VTuber made the conscious decision of including Reika in her streams.
My daughter is still young and in such an irreplaceable stage of childhood, so I would always like to be by her side. As expected, baby Reika would cry for milk every few hours. I don't have anyone close to me whom I can trust Reika to,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Send
think
them
it's
to
impossible
Hornydale.
to hide the truth while doing streaming activities alone.
One other thing that Ray mentioned was that she fondly looked back on the times her parents had recorded videos of her childhood. In many of the same ways, streaming together with her daughter was a way to preserve her daughter's growth and memories.
Yeah,
Well,
I would
I'm
do that
very
too.
happy Reika was included in her streams because she is so precious. I
Look
mean,
at
look
that,
at the
so
time she found
cute.
out that she was going to Sanrio Boroland.
長すぎる長いサンリオピューロランドご招
I don't know what that is, but it sounds so adorable.
待見せたいねサンリオピューロランドっていうのがあるんですよ
Personally, my favorite part of this dynamic is when Reika would jump
Send
on
her
for a
some
karaoke
Mr.
stream and sing with her
Girl
mother.
interaction.
こっち出ていこうねごめんなさいはいごめんなさいはい
You guys, you know what I feel like watching this? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. They're cute together, yeah. But you know what it feels like watching this? You know, it feels like Batman. He's like inside of his dark cave, right? And he's like scrolling on YouTube, looking at a families being happy with their kids, and he's just staring at the screen, watching like other families being happy. I don't know if you guys seen that meme. You missed out on a convo. No, no, he did not. Inferno. Oh, we're doing alright. We're doing a reaction. We're 4 minutes in. Of course, it's a bit longer because I was taking pause and also took an hour to set up. Miguel from Spider-Verse. I forget who Miguel was. I'm doing at 3 a.m. That's facts, brother. Facts, Aiden. The Earth? Ferno. Ferno, they're not talking about the Earth. Ferno, they're not talking about the Earth. One, they're comparing me and others. We're just talking about like how like VTubing and the other stuff. A lot of that stuff is like mostly fetishes, and how most of them just have the bazonkers out and everything. But here's the thing though, it's like, and that's really what it is, and it works. It works. It sells. Their data charts and like goes up. That's what like we want to see in a business. That arrow going up on a chart. Not flat be the way. I enjoy all shapes and sizes. See, guys, all shape and sizes. Wait, you read. The Mexican dude watches videos of his dead family deadpan. No, bad toast. Bad. Like a true man. But yeah, 4x4 flat. Okay. That's true. Punk. Perfect. To the whole sex sells is Shibidoki. Okay, yeah. Oh well, yeah, but that's because she's that's besides selling comedy. Comedy also sells. If you can make something funny, or because entertainment sells, right? And if you seen her cross-eyed videos, her model is really freaking goofy and funny to look at. That's like really unique? It's the only one I've ever seen like that. It's really funny. Wait, me? Oh wait, yo, okay, toast. But yeah, we learned that about a few months ago, I believe. Cute and funny. Yeah, cute and funny. I mean, a lot of people who are usually streamers tend to be very extroverted. Now, keep in mind I said streamers. Now, I'm talking about when I say streamers, I'm talking about like regular streamers. Now, people like me and probably like VTubers or PNG tubers like myself and others like Sad Man, like they tend to be more introverted. Yes, I did know that. I think I know a few who do. Crippling social anxiety. Jeez. My mask is my real face. Dang. Yeah, for enough. Sad I followed you. I never went to a party. Yeah. See? So I'm not crazy when I say this, that, that we're just pretty introverted. And there's a reason why, we hide our face with like anime like characters and whatnot, right? Like we never fell so far from the shore. This is where we fallen. Okay, I cuss every now and then, but that's something I like barely cuss. You have to get me like mad, like really mad, to me to lose control. Doom has done a really good job of doing that. No. You're, I'm your 70th. Let's go. I think she has a clip. Of course you have a clip. Of course you have a clip. Yes, Sadia, you sure? You never cuss. Yeah. But yeah. Don't look at my clips. But yeah, let's continue. Yeah, so Ferno, I'm glad you're back. By the way, but yeah, that's where we left off in the convo. And that's also, this is really cute. Hey, Lazy. I paused for a little bit.
I'm thankful to God this girl isn't my niece, because if she asked for pocket money at a family function, I would deadass Venmo her $500,
Yeah.
send her 5.59 Bitcoin,
Yep.
and start a trust fund for her.
That's it?
Ray-san actually shared with me that she plans on releasing an original song with Reika-chan, and it will be a cute children's song. On my mama, when that peak drops, you know
Absolute
what I'm
cinema, guys.
blasting when the bros
I
ham
should
in
make
the
an
aux cord.
emote of
What's
that.
truly
I need
amazing
it.
is how a
I'm gonna have
medium
a
like
drawing of
VTubing
that.
makes
Just
content like
absolute
this
cinema.
accessible and is able to give individuals like Ray an opportunity to pursue their dreams, but also have the opportunity of being so involved with raising their children.
I am truly glad from the bottom
Yeah.
of my heart that I chose to become a VTuber.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, so I myself is also like I can relate to a little bit of this. Like, so I myself was like also for some time I was like raised by a single parent. So I know it's hard to be able like, to raise your own child when you're always like so like busy, like probably working and everything. Like a lot of times it just the kid practically ends up raising himself in a way. And that's not healthy because in the long run it could cause issues and problems with like your belief, morals and principles. And like probably other health issues too. Because, and definitely mental issues. Because, you'll be thinking a certain way. It's not gonna be a whole lot more parenting than what, a regular two-parent household would have. But and that's even that, it's still a big issue, and people barely get proper parenting. As you can see, the economy doesn't help either because basically both of your parents will probably have to go work at a job. If you're like, the average person, like no degree or nothing. But yeah, people will always be people. Not the rocket in China. You guys getting that premium package. Yes, and yeah, Ferno, you're 100% right on that. Saudi often also looks down on them because, it's not ethical. And here's the thing, there's two spectrums to it too. They either look down upon or praised by a group of people that also do not help them. So let's just be honest. It's just harder. It's really hard. Like, unless you don't have like a good job, then or like a career or something, then like it's gonna be really hard for you to raise a child by yourself. Now, that's why I'm thinking this person's like really grateful that she has the opportunity to to have like these I guess you can say I guess nowadays to be called what? Hmm. Like I think a luxury lifestyle, and I think I would call it a luxury lifestyle, but is not in a way you think. People when they think of luxury, thinking expensive items into that. But when I say a luxury, I mean like probably the richest you ever been. Having your mother, maybe she's still alive, right? That's you remember the moments, and if she was good to you, you might have good memories of her. That's probably the richest you ever were in your life, right? Things you really cherish. I think right now she's like really if she's still has a child, she's still like really young. Right now she's probably the richest she has been in a while, like being able to like parent and be there for her child and not have to work at a 9 to 5 or 3 jobs in order to maintain a house or a bill and pay the bills, right? VTuber book is not a thing that should exist. Wait, dude, that exists? Honestly, I'm not surprised. There's probably some crazy VTuber who has an OnlyFans that sells her that that milks themselves dry every night and sells that for like $300. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen some crazy things before. Why it's even exists because there's a need for it in the market. The day there isn't, nine to job jobs exist because there's somebody that needs to fill that position. Sadly, it's just the way things are at the moment. Yeah, it's gonna take you. Yeah, Toast. I would not search that out. That's probably gonna take you straight to the hub. Especially if you typed it out like that. But yeah, let's move on.
Vtuber. My body isn't very strong, so I believe it will be difficult for me to continue as an idol or get a regular full-time job while raising a child on my own.
Let me
I
pause
was a
real quick
victim of
so
stalking
I can
during
comment
my
on that. Sad man. Sad man, you are 100% right. They sell like cookies fresh out the oven. Guys, you guys are okay. In my high school, at the high school I used to go to, back when I was going to high school, there was a kitchen, right? They had a kitchen there for the, the cooking class, whatever. So they would bake cookies every day. And I'm telling you guys, people would throw hands to buy these cookies. They would fight each other to buy these cookies because they would make a limited batch. Like as soon as like the last class ends, these guys are already rushing out, setting up the store in the little table. And that's how badly people will fight to get those hands on VTuber milk. I'm telling you. Not before gamer subs grew. Yeah, that's also a thing too. Held for aggression, tap to allow. Oh no! Oh, Toast! Toast, your message. Be careful because I have a bot running in the chat, and you flagged your comment that says I would kill a bitch for my cookies. That's what you said. It flagged it. I'm gonna allow it for now. But yeah, it flagged it. Be careful with what you guys type. Okay. Well, no, it's not gay. That means it's working. That means my system works. Aiden, control your impulses. I know exactly you're gonna do something like that. Alright, let's
idol days. So for the sake of protecting my child's
down with the
privacy,
system.
being a VTuber where I don't have to show myself is the choice that can give me peace of mind. Most importantly, because the VTuber work style exists, I don't have to miss the irreplaceable moments of being with Deika.
But beyond this
See, told you guys exactly what I said. Cheater. Saddest man. Yeah, guys, exactly. So they just said she just said exactly what I said, that she does really appreciate because of the luxury lifestyle of being basically the job of being a VTuber, that she gets to spend more time with her child, and that is like a luxury lifestyle.
miracle story, I also wanted to get Ray's perspective on being a single mother in Japan. It would be an understatement to say that there is a huge negative stigma towards single mothers in this country. Japan is a place that embraces traditional values and has a strong emphasis on family structure, especially having a two-parent household. A single mother is a
that's
complete
also true. I didn't
antithesis
realize
of
that
this.
too.
So
These guys
when
are
a normal
probably
Japanese person initially runs into single
Yeah, I didn't realize that too. That's another factor of consideration that I'm pretty sure Sad Men mentioned. Why there's no blackfish? Somebody find me a tower emoji. Oh jeez. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Sad mentioned that single mothers are probably culturally oppressed, most likely by their culture. I keep forgetting, like sometimes like there's other places out there with different cultures and what we do have here. And that's tough to live in. I cannot imagine actually like living like that.
single mothers, they are instantly labeled as irresponsible, failed, or even selfish for raising a child alone.
In Japan, the reality is that being a single mother often doesn't leave a good impression. Oftentimes, we find ourselves in a difficult financial situation, and it is not uncommon for people to think that poverty equals our own fault.
This is a common belief held by many Japanese people based on the current standings of this group. According to the
Wait, what in
scholarly
the
paper,
world?
evidence from low-income single mothers in contemporary Japan.
Have you seen a clip of black people walk into a museum and they say no antique farm equipment? No, I haven't seen that clip, Toast. Jeez, they went straight to the source like I do. So they say if I I don't want to get banned on Twitch, but so these guys decided to go back to the roots and they wanted to see what they were using on them back then. Jeez, and walk away sad like, oh man. They're just trolling, dude. People do anything nowadays. Yeah, it is kind of wild. People are just really hyper today. They're really hyper. Mommies unite. Yeah, it's gonna be like an Avengers level, like unification of moms. If you guys find the clip, share it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
51.4% of single mother households in Japan live below the poverty line, which is one of the highest rates among developed countries.
Ooh.
Many people just overlook how hard it is of truly raising a kid alone in Japan.
No matter how hard we work, we also face prejudice, such as
Yeah.
you only care about work and neglect your child, or I don't think you can properly raise your child.
Okay, guys, look at the hypocrisy here right now. And not much on her part. I'm talking about like other people. Okay, so that's something I never understand of the one with kids and anti-crime kids. Oh geez, that's something I never understand. So people can be prejudiced like to other people like that. But here's the thing: you're with your child more often, and you still can't probably raise your child right either. So I don't know what they're talking about for, and it's just a hypocrisy. Never understood like why you would judge someone like this. It's like gross. It's actually really gross. There's a nut clip. Wait, there's a nut clip rankings? What in the world? No, we don't. No, we don't sound alike. Well, then again, I don't know what I don't know what I actually sound like until I'm done streaming. So maybe. Well, here's the thing. Maybe they do it, yeah, to maybe feel themselves better about themselves. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think they don't do that consciously. They don't do that. I think it's a level. You're right. There are levels to this. Like maybe that's one of the reasons. But I feel like they unconsciously these people do not think, and they just say it like in an abstract way. I don't know who Messi is from Big Mouth. I don't know who's Messi. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna search that up right after this since I'm almost done with this video. I'm gonna find Messi. Messi from Big Mouth. All right, her Messi. Messi's crazy. Watch the clip clean set. I'll watch it after this. I'll watch it after this. But yeah, the hypocrisy is insane. People, yeah, people might actually, say it. Yeah, because what Ferno said, that to feel better about themselves. I think, yeah, there is a certain level of degree to it, but I think they just unconsciously, they don't think, they just say it without thinking, without realizing those same accusations that they're giving, they themselves are doing those things in an abstract way. Like, let's go back a little bit.
How hard we work, we also face prejudice, such as you only care about work and neglect your child.
You only care about work and neglect your child. You see what I mean? How many people in your guys' lives, the only thing they care is about work, and they only parent their children like very little, and then their children just end up being a bunch of jerks at high school and middle school. And you're like wondering, man, has their parents ever teach them anything? But no, they're all too busy working. See what I mean? Now, of course, everything, it's hard to make generalize this because, this is a topic that's dependent on like individually with, everyone's lives. So we're gonna get like different 10 kids like that. Yeah, you guys gonna get like mixed results, right? Because, I'm telling it from like from my eyes, like growing up. But yeah, let's continue.
Or, I don't think you can properly raise your child.
Never
the
understood
truth
that.
is, we work that hard because we care about our child. However, I feel like it is hard for others to understand that.
I could definitely feel Ray's frustration of people looking down on single mothers like her who put everything on the line for their children. She shares things like, as a mother,
Yeah,
what
Ferno,
brings
yeah,
me
they
the
do.
most joy is seeing my daughter smile. No matter
Entitled
how
person.
tired I am, Reika's adorable smile always heals me, or observes that children mimic what parents do as they grow up. That's why
I'll
I have
watch
to
it,
work hard
Toast,
to
I'll
be a
watch it.
role model for my daughter.
Aw.
When I hear these deep, meaningful answers about being a single mother, I can only show my respect for people like Ray. My respect
Yeah.
for her only grew further as
Yeah.
she gave encouragements to single parents out there diligently raising their children on
Yeah, guys, shout out to all the moms, guys. Shout out to all the moms. Hey, let's go. 10 views? Oh, hello, guys. If I have not greeted you, sorry. I was like, the prejudice thing, of course. But yeah, the prejudice thing like really blew me off the head. Hope everybody's doing okay, especially those who just joined. I'm almost done reacting to this, and we can watch the clip Toast wants to watch. And we can also react to more things if you guys like. I have time.
their own.
You don't have to be perfect, and don't work too hard. The worst thing that can happen is for a
picture.
parent to fall ill, especially a single parent. I used to keep pushing myself to the limit and ended up falling ill. My viewers scolded me for it, so I've been more mindful of my workload.
What I just like about Ray's story is that it provides so much hope. She's
It
able to
sounds
show
very
people that
dependent.
there's always a way, despite your circumstances or the way people label you. For me though, at a certain point, I straight up asked her, how in the world did you persevere through all these life challenges? For her specifically, being a single mother is hard enough, but she also had to deal with other life curveballs.
Yeah.
Like having her father pass away last year, or dealing day to day
Oh.
with her physically weak body. To that question, she had a
Like, how can you criticize someone like this, guys? How can you like sleep at night knowing you just criticize someone with like weak body? Their husbands died like literally last year. You know they're they're probably not doing so well, and like you think of this as a stranger without knowing what this person's success is it looks like a successful VTuber, right? And, like, you're just a stranger, you didn't know who she was, right? How can you criticize this? Come on, like, it's so adorable, right? And Inferno, and you're also right about that. If someone is dependent on you, you must care yourself better. Because This is a pyramid, right? If the guy holding the pyramid falls, everything crumbles. There's levels to this. I believe the best example was the brick wall. I remember somebody used when you're like building a family, you're putting bricks in a house, right? Once one life throws a curveball at you, you may lose a few bricks. Yeah, a few things fall here and there, right? But you're holding that wall up, right? It doesn't matter what comes your way. If you're strong enough, it can hold that wall up, right? But once you fall, that wall's gonna come crashing down. And and unlike companies which have scapegoats, you don't. It all falls on you. Quite literally in this example. I just want to fit in. That's what I always never understood. I actually never cared enough to fit in. I always phrased it a bit differently growing up. I always said I just want to be normal, live a normal life, and have a normal job, and live a normal house and have a normal family. That's how I things, but nothing turned out like that. That's how I grew up thinking. Of course, things like that have changed because now I actually do have some goals and passions I would love to do, which I didn't have when I was younger. Is saying lots of single parents say, I just want to fit in. Yeah, you might be right about that. Yeah, it's hard because I can imagine like also maybe talking to like coworkers or like thinking and like having being forced to talk about yourself because these level of like cultural prejudice and basically beating down the dead horse, this has levels to this. And right now we're only talking about like one small little fraction of it, most likely, if not like to 20% of it, if not more. Let's continue.
Short but profound answer.
The more difficult experiences a person has gone through, the more they are able to save someone's soul. The person who never gives up until the end will undoubtedly succeed. These two phrases have always remained in my heart. Since I was young, I have experienced various illnesses and long-term hospitalizations. Even now, I often can't sing well due to my throat and ear illnesses. But I believe that you will eventually be rewarded for pushing through these tough situations.
Yeah, yes.
This has been the story of Otsuka Rei and her inspiring story of being a single mother VTuber raising her precious 4-year-old daughter, Reika. If you want to support her in any way, all of her social info will be down below. She has expressed deep interest in interacting with overseas fans, so don't be afraid in showing her some love.
Oh, wow.
I will also be assisting her in this really monumental project that US fans will appreciate, so be on the lookout for that. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to indulge in my 20th replay of Reika-chan belting out Loligot Requiem, so peace!
Based. You know what, guys? That was wholesome. Give this man a like, bro. Shout out to Yimen. The video was nice and short and well organized and structured. He went straight to the point. He went straight to the main arguments and details. I'm gonna subscribe to this guy right here. Send link. Yeah, I got ya.